Jets at Raiders. We're on to Sunday Night Football here. Jets favored by 1 in Vegas. Antonio Pierce's second game here, 1-0.
That line's gone up to 17 now, by the way.
Yeah, see? People know.
I'm moving it to 17 in the document. Do you still want it at 17?
I'll take it at 17, yeah. No. You know what? That's the tipping point. No, I'll take Dallas.
Nobody beats Tommy DeVito by 17 points.
Twice.
16, sure. 17, no.
Listen, Tommy DeVito's got some mad. He led a comeback without completing a pass. Who else can say that?
True.
Against the Jets.
And his interception, did he have 2 interceptions? One of his interceptions wasn't his fault.
I'm just saying the Jets game.
I know, but yes, last week.
Yeah.
Like he had an interception that hit his receiver in the hands. That's not on him.
It's not on him. Jets favored by 1 at the Raiders here, Sunday Night Football. Aiden O'Connell versus Zach Wilson.
Wow. Yeah.
Aiden played a pretty clean game last week against the Giants.
He did. I mean, look, Aiden O'Connell was the best rookie quarterback in preseason and one of the best quarterbacks in preseason. Now, the more you do this, the more you understand that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But he's had a couple of starts now, and the first one, he just took 1,000,000 sacks and was just late on everything. The process was too slow. But he didn't actually play terribly with the ball in his hands in terms of throwing it. And then last week, you got rid of all the negatives. The sacks didn't happen, and he still looks like he can throw the ball pretty well. So he was an intriguing prospect because his good tape at Purdue was really good. It's just that the bad tape was catastrophic. I mean, if he has games where somehow bad Aiden O'Connell doesn't rush to the surface, he can work. And actually, he's probably the better quarterback than Zach Wilson.
I'm looking up the QB passing grades against the Jets this year. Did this a few weeks ago.
They'll be bad. Yeah, that's the problem.
I was shocked actually because I never actually checked Justin Herbert's grade from the other night. He's got the highest passing grade against the Jets this year.
That's like 60-something?
Yeah, 67. Dak at 66.7, which was both of those guys. It was a lot of dink and dunk here.
Yeah.
Herbert 6.2 average depth of target. Dak a 5.5 average depth of target. Jalen Hurts with a 65 grade is third. He had that game. He had 3 turnover-worthy plays, but he also had some big-time throws in there. And then Mac Jones 57, Josh Allen 52, Patrick Mahomes 48, Tyrod and DeVito together in the 40s, and Russell Wilson 43. So as of a few weeks ago, this was the lowest grade of the season for Mac Jones, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Russell Wilson. I think some of that's changed, but either way, that's my concern for Aiden O'Connell. And the Raiders' passing attack is going up against the Jets. And then the question is, now here's the funny part. If I took Zach Wilson's grades every single week and compared them to all of the quarterbacks against the Jets' defense, it's like the same distribution, where Zach Wilson has 3 games in the 50s and 60s, and everything else is below.
Yeah, that's not great.
So Zach Wilson is every quarterback against the Jets, and then the Jets make every quarterback look like they're playing the Jets, which is why they're 4-4. Got all that?
Pretty much. I mean, the Jets' defense is really good, and their pass rush is crazy good. So we said before, Dallas has the best pass rush in the NFL. That's true. The Jets, though, blitz less than almost anybody else. Only the Colts blitz less often than the Jets. So they have one of the best pass rushes in the league. They're like top 5, 6. And they do it with four.
Yeah.
Like maximum 4. Sometimes they're doing it with 3. That's what makes that defense so special, is that they're able to get as much pressure as almost any team in the league without having to send extra blockers at all. And that's where you're going to end up with problems if you're Aiden O'Connell and the Raiders offense.
They're rolling 8 deep, man. I mean, Jermaine Johnson's breaking out here in year 2. Bryce Huff has been outstanding. Quinnen Williams has the 90 grade. Did you get to see Robert Saleh's little blurb, which sounded a lot like what we talked about yesterday on the podcast? Right. But he gave the whole blurb, the whole, sacks are overrated. Quinnen's a disruptor. Same thing we said on the podcast yesterday.
PFF grade references and all.
PFF grade references and everything. So yeah, the Jets. That'd be my concern here for Aiden O'Connell.
And one of the points he was making, I haven't checked him on this was, teams are going out of their way to take away Quinnen Williams and get extra hands on him, get more bodies on him, get multiple blockers on him at all times, which is one of the reasons that Bryce Huff's pressure rate hasn't come down, which is one of the reasons that Jermaine Johnson's pressure rate has spiked from last year. Like Jermaine Johnson was averaging, or had like an 11% pass rush win rate last season. This year, it's at like 24, 25% or something. Like it's more than doubled what it was a year ago. Part of that is going to be down to Quinnen Williams and the attention that he is drawing, and the fact that teams are specifically going out of their way to try and stop him ruining games. And Salah was making the point that essentially he's cool with that. Like, we're doing some things to try and free him up, but if teams have decided we are going to take him away, we are going to dedicate the extra bodies to him, cool. That just means other guys are going to have big days.
So then it becomes, I really think the Jets defense is going to keep the scoring down. Can Zach Wilson do just enough? And like, what are Zach Wilson's problems at quarterback? The very first throw the other night, just airmails an open throw. And Aikman's funny. He's like, man, this is a gimme. These are the ones you got to hit.
Dude,
hearing former quarterbacks watch.
The NFL commentariat is disgusted with Zach Wilson. They hate him. Aikman's busy lighting him up on the broadcast. Manning visibly cringes every time Zach Wilson drops back to pass. And then when he does something, he's like walking through step by step why it's terrible. It's like they hate watching this guy.
But there's a few plays a game. We make a few plays outside the pocket, give Garrett Wilson a chance. Garrett Wilson is special. And again, the only excuse I'll make for Zach Wilson is the pass blocking is horrendous.
It's bad
by the Jets. And you'll have Max Crosby, probably dominating with 7, 8, 9 pressures in this game. Wilson also invites a ton of pressure. He doesn't work quickly through his progressions whatsoever.
Yeah.
So we're looking at like a 12-9 type of game here.
Manning gave some sort of interesting glimpses, though, into exactly why Wilson is bad. And it's not just, bad decisions, poor accuracy. It's like he doesn't have some of the stuff that goes down as intangibles, but actually is smart quarterback play and understanding how the position works, And he's like, he gave one example of how he's way too quick to hit his check down guy, right? And sometimes you're going to need to hit your check down guy. But his point was you can't do it too early in the play because the check down only gains yardage if you let the defense
you have to let the deep
expand,
rush.
I think was the term he was using, right? So if you drop back, like you've seen quickly, which is a good thing, right? I've read the sort of primary option is not going to be open on this play because the play call isn't going to work the way they've lined up in coverage. Like, I've diagnosed post-snap quickly that number one is not going to work and number two might not work either. I'm going to need to go to the check down. Like, on the one hand, that's good, that's smart quarterback play, but Manning's point is at that point you need to have the discipline and the understanding to wait a while because you need to let the defense expand and move away from the check down guy so that he's not just getting murdered the second you get him the ball and it doesn't go anywhere. He's like, you've done step one, step two is good, and step three isn't there, and so the play's dead. It didn't matter, like the stuff you did beforehand mentally.
You see Mahomes do something like that on his scrambles where he knows it's 3rd and 15 or whatever. He's like, he can read the defense. He knows he's going to scramble. He's got to let the play develop a little bit longer before he takes off, though,
right?
So he has more room. But you know why do you know why people are saying Zach Wilson improved? Is because last year, in the previous year, he wouldn't even hit the check down. He wouldn't even hit the check down. He would roll right and just hang out by the sideline and hope that he found a play down the field. That's why when people say, hey, there's seeing some improvement from Zach Wilson, it's because when he does actually hit a check down, last year that was like a throwaway or maybe an interception because, he was rolling out and just kind of chucking it up there. So that's probably what Robert Saleh is seeing. Now, it's not enough of an improvement that it's good quarterback play yet, but it's baby steps, Sam, for Zach Wilson.
I mean, if this is the arc, though, like, sure, there are baby steps, but if this is the pace we're moving at, it's going to be 2026 before he's ready to play.
Buy low, baby. Buy low. All right, man. It's pick time. Jets by 1 in Vegas.
Damn, I wanted to pick the Raiders, and then the more I think about it, the more I just don't like Aiden O'Connell against that pass rush, and I can't see him thriving.
The Jets are that defense
Now,
that
Max Crosby could ruin the whole game for the Jets by himself.
That's true. But the Jets are that team that if your quarterback just played the Jets, you're like, man, what's wrong with my guy? What's wrong with Mahomes? What's wrong with Josh Allen? What's wrong with Jalen Hurts? What's wrong with every single quarterback that just played the Jets?
For the first time this year, I am going to deploy the coin flipper.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I did a whole strategy around that last year that didn't work.
No, well, it didn't make it worse
One
either,
week.
though. Put it that way. Okay, heads, Jets, tails, Raiders.
Heads, Jets.
Flipping, tails, Raiders. Damn it. Didn't want to go there, but okay.
I did tweet the other day.
The coin has spoken.
Oh, remember the Phil Luckett screwing up the coin toss play? That was amazing.
Yeah. Look, it's a hard thing to get right.
Thanksgiving 1998. What a day that was.
The coin has spoken.
Screwing up the coin toss. Randy Moss going crazy. 3 catches, $163, whatever it was, 3 scores. What a day. Thanksgiving in 98. So you're taking the Raiders per the coin toss.
Yes.